Hi everyone, welcome back to the 1% Common Sense channel where I uncover simple yet effective common sense habits and practices applied by the richest 1% of the world to create generational wealth. In our last video, we explored what's like living in Oakville, which offers best-in-class living experience for its residents. Check out the link here to watch that video. Today, we are going to cover the topic of first-time home buyers. And throughout my experience of working with first-time home buyers, I understand the entire process can get overwhelming as to what to do, where to do, how to do, and many such questions. And hence, as I do it for my client, today in our video, I'm going to explain number one, simple 10-step process in buying your first home. And number two, important things to consider while buying your first home. I've also created a checklist for the first-time home buyers that helps you to track your progress until the time you are at the door of your first dream home. Please click on the link below in the description to request a copy. Rest assured, the steps covered in this video today, if you follow them, you will make your life easy, the 1% common sense way. Here is the ideal timeline of the steps or journey we are going to discuss. The stage actually starts from getting started, which usually begins 6 to 9 months before you actually start your home search. We will cover that in step 1 to step 4. The next is getting qualified and envisioning a home. That usually starts 2 to 3 months prior, and we will cover this in step 5 and 6. You begin your home search and get a deal. That happens at time 0, and we will cover that in step 7 to 9. And finally, you are at the door with the keys to your dream home. That happens at time +1, and we will cover at step 10. So let's get started. Step 1, a good start is half of the battle won. The 1% common sense way. I'll explain this step later, but let me explain step 2, which is actually step 1 in the regular conventional copy-paste content and practices out there. So step 2, start preparing to buy your first home, the financial aspect. This step should usually start 6 to 9 months prior to you actually start viewing the properties and involves number 1, creating an emergency fund of about 3 to 4 months of expenses to cover any undue events. Number 2, based on your savings, income and target home, creating a savings plan to come up for down payment and closing cost. And here is the estimate of minimum corpus you will need to garner at the closing for insurance and non-insurance categories. So for example, a home worth 900,000, you will have to come up with minimum 65,000 for a down payment plus the closing cost. Number 3, not applying for any major credit such as car loans or credit card loans at least 6 months prior to your closing. And number 4, start tracking your credit score. And I see many do not pay attention to this and get undue surprise at the time when lender informs them about some issue with their credit score. So stay ahead of the game and start tracking your credit score, and which is easy now with many banking apps provide you with your credit scores. Step 3, optimize your savings. Once you know the corpus you need to garner towards down payment and closing cost, you should maximize various government programs to increase your post-tax savings such as RRSP and FHSA. We will cover RRSP and FHSA in detail in subsequent videos to help you strategize for maximum savings. But for now, note that you can save up to $60,000 in RRSP and $40,000 in FHSA subject to your income tax limit towards your down payment. By doing this, effectively not only you will save up for down payment, but will save on taxes as well. For example, if you are in 30% marginal tax bracket and you utilize $100,000 in RRSP and FHSA, you will save up to $30,000 in taxes, which effectively increases your amount to $130,000. Step 4, channelize your savings. Once you are through step 3, you should channelize your savings to right investment product. That is, if you invested your savings in equity or any other risky investment, you should consider moving these funds to safe and accessible investment. Some of my clients in the past did this mistake of keeping these funds in equity where they knew they will be house hunting in 3 months time frame and lost a sizable amount of corpus due to market volatility. And hence, don't repeat this mistake. Please move these funds to safe investments. Step 5, start preparing for buying your first home, the non-financial aspect. Many of the first-time home buyers struggle with identifying the cities to live in, and quite reasonably so. Here is a 1% common sense tip. 80% of the first-time home buyers do not end up living in their first home for more than 4 to 5 years as life happens and their need changes. Having this perspective will not only help you getting lost in too much future planning while selecting the cities. And there are 2 ways to do this. Number 1, either you select cities based on the type of home you prefer, such as townhome or semi-detached and detached homes, On number 2, based on your other criteria such as having good schools or connectivity, you select cities to live in. A good realtor should help you navigate through this along with the friends and family who are ahead of you in this journey. Sorry, what, a good realtor? Oh yes, we missed step 1, hiring a good realtor and a capable team to achieve your goal. Most of the copy paste and repackage content or practice you would have heard would have advised you on hiring a capable realtor who works in your best interest, but would have kept this step as step 5, 6 or 7 in their first time home buying process. It's like placing an engine right in the middle of the train and expected to guide you through well. Throughout my 2 decades of working with high net worth individuals, I've experienced that nobody got on to achieve a meaningful financial goal without first hiring a professional wealth coach. And if you understand this, I cannot emphasize enough on hiring a realtor who is well-rounded, has lived through this, has bought a right home, and has created asset for themselves. There is a difference in hiring a salesperson who is meant to sell you something and hiring somebody who will walk you through your wealth creation journey exactly the way they've done for themselves. If you would like to know on how I go about walking my client through this important decision while being considerate of other aspects of wealth creation, please get in touch with me by following the link in the description below. Similarly, you should select a capable mortgage advisor right at the beginning of the process to help you sort out the nitty-gritty in getting you a mortgage. A good mortgage advisor is the one who helps you in making decision and not makes decision for you. Consider it as a wrong number and probably a time for you to look at your options when your mortgage advisor chooses a mortgage for you and doesn't ask you which lender you would like to work with. Just like a realtor, you would want to work with a capable mortgage advisor who is well-rounded and is not short-minded to sell you a mortgage. Likewise, though your realtor or a mortgage advisor will help you to select a good lawyer, but you should look to hire a lawyer who has exceptional professional experience and who values client relationship. A true measure of a good lawyer would be the one who has the ability to respond to your queries and be available to respond to your concerns. If they are not and sticking by the clock, it's probably a wrong number and time for you to consider your options. So, a good lawyer are the one who are not seeing you as a transaction, but are rather approachable, responsive, professional and human. Step 6, getting pre-approved for a mortgage. In the past, some of my clients waited too long for this step to be completed and later got an undue surprise in terms of their credit profile. Hence, it is an extremely important step in your home buying process, as it will not only number 1 help you know your exact mortgage amount that you will be capable of and hence plan for your down payment, but number 2, plan for any undue surprise in your credit profile if there is any. Step 7, begin your home search. Once you got pre-approved for a mortgage, have implemented a savings plan for down payment and closing costs, and have shortlisted cities, you should begin your home search with the help of your realtor. Your realtor will understand your requirement through a discovery stage and will send you the list of properties that meet your requirement. The trick here is to filter down to the properties that really fit your criteria, as last thing you would want to do is view 50-60 properties that don't fit your criteria, as not only it will take a lot of work and time, but also confuse you by the time you view so many properties. First couple of rounds of viewing will give you a better sense of what you really want and don't want, and subsequently should have a high swing rate in terms of the properties you viewed and would likely to consider make an offer for. Step 8, make an offer. Once you like a home, it's time for your realtor to do their magic. It is the time for their knowledge, experience and charm to kick in and get you the deal. Your realtor should do deeper analysis and suggest you a price to offer and also write an agreement of purchase and sales for you. Though it is advisable for a complex transaction, you should consult a lawyer before drafting an APS, such as transaction for power of sale and estate sales. You should also consider writing an inspection, financing and status certificate conditions, as it will help you to protect at the time of closing from any undue surprises. Finally, your realtor with its negotiation skill should get you the best deal. Step 9, securing a mortgage. Once your offer is accepted, you typically would have 5 business days to satisfy your financing and inspection conditions. As you would have the pre-approval for your mortgage advisor will provide additional information to the lender in terms of the property details and your financials to get you a final approval. And finally, step 10, closing. skipping past what you should do from the time the offer is formed until the closing, such as arranging for movers and etc., which I've covered in the checklist. Your lawyer takes charge of the activities from here on and conducts many important legal activities such as doing title search, etc., and takes your transaction to the closing successfully. Finally, following are the 5 important things for you to consider as a first-time home buyer. Number 1, location. Number 2, always opt for title insurance. Number 3, always do the home inspection if possible. Number 4, don't buy something which needs fixes and is available for cheap unless you know the rule of the game. Number 5, buy something that's boring and simple but with a great layout and great floor plans. With that, I'm signing off for today. Please like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so as yet. And I hope to see you all next week. Until then, take care.